Hey, this is Chip with webvideochefs.com. Today, I want to show you how I export my movies out of Final Cut Pro and then either put them in the compressor or I put them into Adobe Media Encoder. So my process is a little different from just going share, export. A lot of times you can do share, export. For me, I'm from the old school. I like to see a high res quality copy of my edit. So what I do, sometimes I do use share export right to YouTube, share export right to Vimeo, but I would advise you, if all, to keep a high res copy of your movie, just because you never know when you will need it. So I go share, I go export movie, and then I just go current settings. I leave all of that the same, and then I just hit do nothing because I don't want it to open up in Compressor or anything else. So video and audio. And then I just hit next and I save it. Just for this tutorial, I have exported the movie already. It's just a 90-second clip of a wedding that I'm editing. So now I'm going to go over to Compressor and show you what I do. So let's go over to Compressor real quick, and we open up Compressor, and when we open up Compressor, we come and we see a lot of different things, and it can look a little confusing if you've never used it before. And the first thing you can do, many things, you can just click here to add a file, or you can drag a file right there to create something called a job. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add the file, and then I'm going to say before the wedding is the name of the file I want. And then in Compressor, I can click through here to see thumbnails of it, or once I click here on it, once I click and make this blue here, then I could just scrub through parts of the clip that I want to make as an iPad. Now I have a custom preset as an iPad movie already. I'm going to show you how I actually got that. So in Compressor, it comes with some Apple presets. And if you look at the Apple presets right here, there are 3 settings. And if I just hit the disclosure triangle, you have Apple HD for devices, and then you have for HD for Apple devices right here as well. And then you have SD. So nowadays, most people want HD for Apple devices. This is for iPad. And then what I'm going to do is just drag this up here. All right, I drag that up there. Then the destination is the desktop. So I want it to go to the desktop. If I don't want it to go to the desktop, I can control click or right click on it. And then I can change my destination to a source, to my movie folders, or somewhere else. I usually leave it at the desktop. And then right here, what you can do, you can change the name to it. Now these files are what are they? They're M4V files. So I want to change this, call this, instead of something real long, I'm going to call this iPad. And I'm going to call it _ William and Gwen Murray. That's their names. Then I'm going to do like that. That's the iPad. So that's the first thing I can do. Now it says for Apple TV under here, under devices. So when I want to change this to say iPad, iPhone with a Retina display. So I'm going to just click on that button right there. And then right here it has something called bitrate. Now this says 10,000 bit rates right here, kilobits per second. I'm not going to get into what all that means right now. Just knowing that I put mine around 6,500 and it looks pretty good, or you can just type it in here. And so I'm just going to type it in here, and then you can save your setting. And I'm not going to save it because I already have a setting saved already, so I'm just going to put it there. And then you have something called frame sync, and what frame sync is, it's also known as a keyframe interval, and it really, more frequent keyframes will increase the quality and the bit rate. And the bit rate is really the data rate. You ever see something that looks fuzzy online? It doesn't look as good. It just really talks about the rate of data that's going through the video. So I can do a multi-pass or single pass. I can do a multi-pass. It means it goes through it when it compresses it all as one video twice or multiple times to get the best result. So I usually leave this at about 6.5, and that's fine. Alrighty, and I'll leave the aspect ratio, and it's 23.9. If I want to change that, click on that little frame, but I'm going to keep it as what it was shot with. And then it's 16:9. I don't want anything else with it. It's not film or anything like that, so I'm going to click on that. Now here's a tab right here you can click on, and then you can see HD for Apple devices, and then it just shows you how much what all the settings that you have on here are. So it's compatible with the Mac, Apple TV, iPhone 4, and iPad. So all of these things, if you compress it here, it'll be compatible with all those. Thing I like about Compressor as well is that if you want it for something else, let's say I want this for Vimeo as well. So I'm going to just type in Vimeo, and then I'm just going to say right here HD sharing, and I'm going to put it right there for Vimeo, and then I'm going to call this Vimeo, Will and Gwen Vimeo. So Vimeo, William, Gwen, Marie. All right, so you can have many different settings for video. That's one of the benefits. Instead of just having file, share, export, just in one setting, you can have many settings in Compressor. That's one of the reasons I really like Compressor, and I like Adobe Media Encoder actually as well. They're both great compressing tools. And one thing I learned about video, if you learn compression in video, you'll be way ahead of the game because your videos will look a lot better. Of course, it's a whole situation where you have garbage in. If you have garbage in, it's going to be garbage out. But if you shoot good video, and you see this is high definition video, it's shot, you see how great and pretty good that looks. But and it's going to come out just as well as an iPad. So I'm going to hit submit. Then something called the batch monitor is going to come up. Then I'm just going to name this William and Gwen Marie. I'm going to type Gwen Marie wedding behind the scenes, BTS, behind the scenes. Then once I do this, if I had a cluster storage or something else, this computer plus something else trying to render and manage storage, it would I could check that box. Now I'm just going to hit submit. Then it used to be called the batch monitor. Now it's called share monitor. Let me see right here, share monitor. It's going to come up here, and it's coming up now. Once the share monitor comes up, it's going to tell me how long I have to compress the file and how long it will take to actually get it done. So it's going to show me how much time is remaining. Once I hit these disclosure triangles, for each one, it's going to do the M4V first. It shows you how much time has elapsed if I've done that, or I can hit the information key for more information about it, or I can just click on that. So that is compression in a nutshell. There are a lot more things you can do with it, but right now just wanted to give you how to make an iPad file, how to make a Vimeo file, and instead of doing just share and doing them one at a time, use Compressor and get the full power of your Apple device and from your to send them to many Apple devices. Take care. This is Chip Desart again with Web Video Chefs. Follow us at Web Video Chefs or webvideochefs.com.